Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our lesson about defensive signaling. Uh, this lesson is uh, based upon the fact that communication is vital amongst partnerships. It's vital in the bidding, and we seem to spend an enormous amount of time in the bidding between having understandings between two players in the partnership. But often when it comes to defense, we seem to let that fall by the wayside. We often think, okay, well, if I've got small cards in the suit, I don't really need to do much here. I can simply follow suit from the lowest card up. But if you do have small cards, or what we like to refer to as a spot card, that is any card from a 10 down to a 2, it's a good idea to make those cards count. And that is, try and send partners signals when using or throwing those spot cards away. Now that can come in various different forms. It can happen when you are simply following suit to partner's lead. It can also happen when you are discarding on a particular suit. So where the partner's leading and you have to throw away because you no longer have cards in that suit, or where the declarer is leading and you have to throw away or discard in that particular suit. All of these small cards should, or certainly the first card, should make some sort of, or should give partner an understanding of what you have in your hand. Now, there's several different signals that we can play. The most important is what we refer to as the attitude signal. Now, an attitude signal sends a message to partner of whether you like or dislike the card that they have just played. That is, if partner leads an ace and they probably have the king behind it, then if you're looking at the queen in your hand, you want partner to continue playing that suit. So how does partner know whether they should continue with the king on the next round or not? And that will all depend on whether you can send partner what we call an attitude signal. That is an encouraging or a discouraging card. Now, the same thing could apply, as we said, with discarding. If partner gets on play and you want partner to play a particular suit when they do, you can send a message to partner that says, partner, yeah, when you're on play next time, play this suit. Or, even more importantly, I've got this suit covered, partner. If you need to cover a suit, make sure it's not this one because I've got it covered. So that's another reason to play some sort of signaling in defense. We're also going to cover two other straightforward types of signals in defense. And that is talking about something called count. What is count? Count's all about whether you've got an even number of cards in a particular suit or an odd number of cards in a particular suit. And by the order in which you play your small cards, or that is your spot cards, you can let partner know how many cards you have in that suit. Now, partner could need to know this information for various reasons. They could need to duck a card. They could need to know when to give you a ruff in the suit. We'll cover that. And we'll also cover one last thing, and that is what we call suit preference. We have spoken about that before in our lesson on defense. But this time we're also going to have a look at it along the same lines and discuss that it also has another name, and that another name is often referred to as McKenney. So they're the four different signals we're playing: the attitude signal, and the attitude signal on partner's lead, or when you are discarding. We're also going to discuss suit preference, plus the last one, which is what we call count. So let's start with the attitude signal. We'll get our little pointer up and going here. Okay. So far in the defense lesson that we did, we had an understanding that when we lead a card, we say lead, low, like. That is, if you make a lead in a card at the first trick or a subsequent trick, If you lead a low card, partner will know one of two things about that lead. It will either be from an honor. So if you're defending no trumps, it'll definitely be from an honor. But it could also be a singleton if you are defending against a trump contract. So the fact that partner has seen the card and defined that it is a low card sends a message to partner: lead, low, like. So I want to keep some sort of distinction or parallel when it comes to following to partner's carding. And how about we choose exactly the same signal? If we follow with a low card on partner's lead, that sends the same message to partner. Let's have a look at this example here, example number 1. With example 1 here, an attitude signal. The attitude signal here says, partner, if I like your lead, I want you to continue it. How do I tell you about that? By following with a low spot card. Well, we're defending 4 spades, and partner has led the ace of hearts. Well, what can we garner from the ace of hearts lead? The partner should, if they're a good partner, they should have the king of hearts with that. So if they do have the king of hearts, then there's every reason for you to think that continuing with the heart play is good for your side. How do you send that message? Well, with queen 9-2 of hearts, you follow suit to partner's ace with the 2. And that 2 is low. And low says, I like. So I'll just scroll down a little bit so people can see. The 2 says low, which means I like. And partner will then say, okay, well, partner wants me to continue playing that suit. Partner then continues on with the king. And then hopefully when they play another one to your queen, it will also win a trick if everyone follows suit. So that's a classic example of playing low to encourage. Let's keep going. Let's have a look at example number 2. Taking a little while for the computer to warm up, I think, at the moment. Let's just check that the screen is sharing here, everyone. I'm going to stop the share and then I'm just going to pop it back on again. There we go. A day of wonderful technical problems. Okay, here we go. Now we do have this all back on. So we've looked at example number 1. Now we're going to have a look at example number 2. Example number 2. Again, you are defending 4 spades. Partner leads the ace of hearts. And partner wants to know from those 3 cards you have in hearts, whether you would like partner to continue playing the suit. Well, do you have any reason in example 2 to encourage partner to keep playing the suit? Now, you've got 9-6-2. Well, if partner has ace, king, queen, they will play them all themselves. But if partner has ace, king, or for that matter, ace, king, jack, yeah, they may not want to release the king. They need to get a signal from you as to whether that's a good idea or not to keep playing the suit. So we're keeping a consistency about the way we signal, and that is the principle of low being like. So with this hand, do you like it? No. If you don't like it, then the card you should play here is the 9. And that instantly sends a message to partner, partner, I don't want you to continue playing this suit. Have a look at example 3 here. Example 3. You're defending 4 spades again, and this time again, partner again leads the ace of hearts. Well, we're defending a trump contract here, everyone. If partner leads the ace, it means they almost certainly have the king, pardon me. Well, if they've got the king, you can picture what's going to happen if they continue with 3 rounds of the suit. So you want to encourage your partner in example 3 to continue with the king of hearts and the third heart. So what do? You play the 2 of hearts. Some people may think, well, I should always play a doubleton. I should always play high-low with a doubleton. Not true. When you lead a doubleton, yes, you do lead high-low. But when you're following suit, if the system you play is low encourage, it doesn't matter if you have queen 9-2 here in example 1, you would play the 2 to encourage partner, or 9-2, as in here in example 3, if you want partner to give you a ruff on the third round of the suit. In both instances, you play an encouraging card. Example 2 here, that's the example where you would play the 9, and the 9 would say, partner, I'm discouraging you from continuing this suit. So the 2 things that are linked are low to encourage, is linked with low high for a doubleton. If you, by chance, you play high to encourage, you would play high low for a doubleton. But I'm trying to encourage some consistency in your signaling here. And that is, if you want to remember something low like, then you should continue that when it comes to signaling as much as when it comes to leading. So a low card says I like. Example 3, you play the 2 on the ace, partner continues the king. Now they don't know whether you've got the queen or you've got a doubleton, but you want to encourage them to continue with the second round of the suit. Why? Because you want to trump in. Yep. Stephen asked me a question just then about mud on example 2. Now, everyone, please make sure that you understand things such as mud are relevant to leads. Yes, opening leads. So mud is only relevant to an opening lead. Okay, certain things are relevant to leads and certain things are relevant to signals. Signals are they're far easier. They're either A or B. Either you like the suit or you don't like the suit. You want partners to continue the suit or you don't want partners to continue the suit. Even there may be examples where dummy has an ace, partner leads a low card, declarer plays the ace in dummy. I'll just pop that here on the screen. So imagine this scenario here. Partner leads the 2, dummy has the ace and the 6 and the 4, and you here have the king and the 9 and the 3. Well, declarer on the 2, declarer plays the ace. Which card should you play? The 3. And the 3 says, low, encouraging. I want you to continue the suit, partner. So, for example, if that was to, that your holding was different, if it wasn't king 9-3, but actually 9-8-3, then when declarer plays the ace, which card should you play? The 9. Now you notice here, everyone, I didn't play the 8. Why? Because I can afford the 9. Try to make your signals as clear as possible. Susan's asked a question about playing odds and evens. I'm not a big fan of following suit to partner's lead with an odd or an even signal. I'd much rather keep the signaling very straightforward. And that is, sometimes with an odd and even signal, you don't have the luxury of having an odd card or an even card. So for example, let's say you were to play even as discouraging, and this was your holding. If you had played even as discouraging, and these were your cards, how do you discourage partner? Essentially, you want to encourage partner. That's why I prefer simple, straightforward attitude rather than odds and evens on the partner's lead, that is. So let's move on. And everyone, some of you may think, well, this is quite a straightforward area of the game, but a lot of players actually don't consider it. They don't think about it. They simply just play a low card and hope their partner always plays the right card next. Well, don't waste those spot cards. Yeah, not only honor cards make a difference, spot cards also make a distinct difference. Let's continue on. Let's look at the attitude signal when discarding on declarer's lead. So when you can no longer follow suit on declarer's leads, then sometimes you need to throw, or you will need to throw something away in another suit. So declarers pulling trumps, they've taken your trumps away from you, they play another trump to take partner's last trump away from them, and you have your first discard available. Now, that first discard available that you have available should be used to send a clear message to partner. Why not keep exactly the same system that you play when following suit to partner's lead? Why not play, if I throw a low card in a suit, I like that suit. Now that's a very straightforward method to play, and there's many other methods out there as well. But if you're not used to playing any methods, then stick to a simple, straightforward method of low to encourage. Let's have a look at example 4 here. In example 4, just pop our little annotation pen on here so we can get a little spotlight. In example 4, we're defending a contract of 5 clubs, and partner has led a heart and declarer has won the ace. You didn't have anything exciting in hearts, so you discouraged in that suit. Declarer then started to draw trumps, and they drew out the 2 trumps that you held. Yep. They also, or the 1 trump that you held, and then on the second round, what happened was you had to find a discard on a club. Now, what should you discard? You could discard a spade, a heart, or a diamond. You can afford all of the suits. So it's important for you to be able to let partner know which suit you would like them to play next. Well, if partner gets on play, I think you would much rather them play a diamond than play a spade. Why? Because we're aiming to actually develop tricks rather than simply take winners. So in this instance, I would throw away the 4 of diamonds, and that would say to partner, if you do get on play a diamond for me, because then when we knock out the ace, my other top honor will be a winner, and the ace of spades is still available. Now, if you signal for a spade here, then that ace has gone perhaps prematurely, and you may never ever develop your diamond trick. So what's the right discard when declarer plays a second club? On the second club, then you should be throwing away the 4 of diamonds. Now, that would be an encouraging card, low like. Everyone, again, try and develop some sort of consistency in the signaling that we play. Okay, let's continue on. Now that we've talked about signals on partners leads and signals on declarers leads. So now we're going to talk about another type of signal on declarers leads. The last one we talked about was when we were discarding, and that said to partner the same thing as it would on partners leads, low like. Yes. Now we're actually going to look at the scenario where we're following suit on declarers leads. Sometimes when you follow suit, even though it may you may consider it to be useless to perhaps tell partner about the holding you have in a particular suit when you're just sitting there looking at 3 small cards, it may be vital for partner to know how many cards you hold in a suit. So that's where following suit on declarers leads, you can show partner whether you've got an even number or an odd number of cards. And that is keeping consistent with the low like principle. If you follow high low, then that should show an odd number, 3, 5, or 7 cards in the suit. Often it's 3 or 5, yes? If you play low high, that should show the reverse, and that is an even number of cards in the suit, 2, 4, or 6. Well, let's look at this example here on the screen. This is you sitting here in the south hand. Doesn't look like a terribly exciting selection of cards, but against an auction that goes one no trump here from east, you south pass, and west raises to three no trump, hoping that their diamond suit will secure a bunch of tricks. Now, you lead a low club, and the play goes around to declarer's ace of clubs. So three of clubs, partner plays the king of clubs, and declarer wins the ace of clubs. Declarer then leads a diamond towards the 6-card suit headed by the king, queen, jack, and dummy. You're sitting here looking at the 9, the 7, and the 3. And I can hear a lot of you thinking, oh, okay, 9, 7, and 3. Now, I want to answer a few questions here. Just asked a question, isn't 3, 5, 7 also low, high? No. With 3 cards in the suit or 5 cards in the suit. So when I say 3, 5, 7, we're talking about a suit with 3 cards or a suit with 5 cards or a suit with 7 cards. This would be what we would call an odd number of cards. Well, this hand here is a classic example. You've got 3 cards, the 9, the 7, and the 3, and that is an odd number of cards. How do you tell partner that you have an odd number of cards? Well, like I suggested, you play a high one first, and partner will instantly know that that high one, if you play the 9, well, that can't be your lowest card. If it can't be your lowest card, it means you must have an odd number of cards. So imagine the scenario around the table is like this. If the scenario around the table is such that this is the holding, dummy has king, queen, jack, 10, 8, 2, that's 6 cards. You're sitting down here as south with 9, 7, and 3. Declarer leads let's say the 4. And if it turns out the scenario is like this, partner has the ace and the 6, and declarer has the 5 and the 4. Remember, we're defending a no trump contract here. Yep, declarer's got 2 cards. They lead the 4. If you play the 9, you're telling partner, I've got an odd number of cards. Well, partner will know if you've got an odd number that it's either 1 or it's 3. Because declarer's opened a no trump over here, they know that they have either 2 or 4. Well, if declarer's got 2, then it's very important when the king is played from dummy that you duck with the north hand. Why? Because now, if declarer continues with the diamond and you win the ace, declarer has no more diamonds to get back to dummy. So that is why sometimes in defense, it's a very important signal to give partner, and that is a count card. And you only ever do that on declarer's leads. So just confirming that, you play an attitude card on partner's leads, telling them whether you like the suit or not. You also play an attitude card on declarer's lead when you are discarding. Yeah. So anytime you discard on declarer or partner's leads, that is also an attitude card. But the time and the one time to play a count card, which could be very useful to partner, is when you are following suit on declarer's leads. Okay, so let's continue on. There's one more thing we'd like to talk about before we launch into the hands, and that is something that we call suit preference. Suit preference, some people like to refer to as McKenny as well. You can use that when you discard, but let's talk about the principle of suit preference. With suit preference, when you're winning a card and you know that you can give partner a ruff or play a card for partner to trump in on, the card that you lead to partner should tell partner, once you win this trick by trumping in partner, I want you to lead back either the higher of the other two suits or the lower of the other two suits. So if you lead back a high spot card, it says partner, out of the other two suits, and of course we're not talking about the two suits that are excluded are trumps and the one partner's trumping in on. So out of the other two suits, if I play back a high spot card, it says lead me back the highest of the other two suits. If I play back a low spot card, it says partner, please lead me back the lowest of the other two suits. So that's what we call suit preference cards. And I've got some hands or a hand to show you on that particular subject. But let's hop into the hands now. Let's stop this and let's go to sharing our screen. Where all of our hands are. Pop them up on the board. Okay. First thing I want to do with everyone is have a look at the bidding. Your dealer is west, you pass on that hand. North passes, east passes, and south opens one spade. West passes again. I think I would, vulnerable, especially when partner's already a passed hand over here. And north raises to two spades. When the bidding comes back to west, you have a decision to make as to whether you should balance or not. Well, you've got 10 points. Partner's probably, they're probably limited to about 10 points as well. And you have no 5-card suit here. So you would be wading into an auction at the 3 level, vulnerable, and hoping that you would go down at most one trick. Now that would be good if you would not double. But when the opponents know that they probably hold the balance of the points, then there's every chance that they may double any 3-level sacrifice you take. So a few people have their cameras on. If you could make sure you turn your camera off, that would be very, very much appreciated. Okay, so on this particular hand, I wouldn't be balancing on the hand, and I would let the opponents play 2 spades and do our best to hopefully defeat that contract. Well, what's the obvious opening lead on the west hand? It would be the ace of hearts. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I want you to have a look at this hand from the viewpoint of east, who has to follow suit and make an attitude signal on partner's opening lead. Well, the ace of hearts here is promising the king. Can you picture what could happen on this hand? Well, you want partner to play the king of hearts and to play a 3rd round of hearts so that you could trump in with the 2 of spades. So what are you going to do on this hand? You're going to send partner an attitude card. An attitude card is either high hate or low like. Well, you like it, therefore you play your lowest card. On dummies, heart, you play the 2. So Jenny or Leon were asking a question earlier about playing doubletons. Well, it depends on whether your signals are high in courage or low in courage. If you play high in courage, you would play high or low with a doubleton. But as I know most of you play low in courage, then I'm trying to keep it consistent throughout your signals. If you play low in courage, you would play low, high with a doubleton and following suit to partner's lead. So that's what you do. And partner gets the hint, plays the king of hearts, and then they return the 3rd heart. Now, the card that partner returns is a classic example of what we call suit preference or McKenny. So partners return the lowest heart available. So they're saying to you, when you trump this trick, partner, play back the lowest of the other 2 suits. So which are the other 2 suits? Well, obviously not the suit that you're trumping in because you've got no cards, and obviously not the trump suit. So either a diamond or a club. So this 4 of hearts says low, lowest suit. play me back the lowest suit. The lowest suit is clubs. So that's what's going to happen when you trump with the 2 of spades. You're now going to return a low club. Well, declarer plays the queen, partner wins the king, and partner can count the hearts around the table, so they play another heart. They know that dummy has to trump in, and you can perhaps over-ruff. So, any thoughts about this next play, when dummy trumps in with the 9 of spades? Everyone, I want you to look at the scenario, spend about 15 seconds on this, and tell me whether it's a good idea or a bad idea to over-trump here. So let's look at the spots around the table when you're thinking about it. Declarer has the ace. Yes? Yep. This is good because people are starting to get used to this scenario. I gave you a hand the other day. Some people are suggesting that you should over-trump, but most of you are saying don't over-trump. Yep. Simply throw a card away in a side suit. Well, let's have a look at the 2 different scenarios. If you over-trump with the queen here, declarer will follow suit. That means dummy's left with the jack and the 10, you're left with the king and the 8, and declarer has the ace. So declarer would next lead the jack, and then you would never gain another trick. But watch what happens here when you don't over-trump. If you don't over-trump, you promote an extra trump trick. So I'm just simply going to discard a useless club here, and declarer follows suit. Declarer had to trump in because if they didn't trump in with the 9, you would have won a trick with the 8 of trumps. So declarer trumped in, and now they're going to play trumps. So they lead the 10, you cover it with the queen, and remember, if you had over-trumped, you would have only gained 1 trick. Now, when the ace is gone and they play another one to the jack, both your king and your 8 are the 2 highest trumps. So simply by not over-trumping, you gained an extra trick for the defense. And that also means that you defeated the contract. So what a good idea for West not to balance here, because if West did balance, then you would have gone down comfortably in 3 clubs. You would have suffered from ace king of diamonds and a diamond ruff, plus the ace of clubs, and also the ace of spades. So 3 clubs would have gone down, at least 100, vulnerable and doubled 200. So an interesting hand. 2 things that we covered on this hand. One was the signaling, that is, when partner leads the ace against a trump contract and you have a doubleton. Consistent with low encourage is to play a low heart. Neil's asked a question. What is your attitude if dummy presents with 4 of your suit? Do you still encourage if you have a good suit and want to encourage? Sure, why not? Because even if dummy's got 4 cards, as long as you're not setting up a winner in dummy's in that suit for dummy, Neil, then if you've got length sitting over length, possibly it's a good idea to encourage partner to continue playing the suit, because declarer may have to trump in, and eventually partner might even be able to over-trump declarer. I hope that's what you meant by the question. Let's look at the next hand. Okay, very interesting hand. I love this hand on defense. Okay, let's look at the option. South opens 2 spades, and you're sitting here with collection from West. Now, the important part, one of the important parts of this hand is that partner was dealer and passed. South opens a weak 2 in spades, and with this West hand, you chose to, I think, pass is the right choice. If you double, partner's going to bid hearts, Murphy's law. If you don't choose to double, I don't think you have any other bid that will describe your hand accurately. Now, you're not good enough to bid 2 no trump. You're a bit short of the target there. So I think you simply pass. Good idea, because North continues on with 4 spades. obviously must be strong at this vulnerability. And then that becomes the final contract. So what do we choose as an opening lead against 4 spades? Difficult hand. A really bad holding to lead away from is a holding where you have the king jack in a suit. It's far better to lead away from a king only than to lead away from a king jack. Why is that? Well, when you lead away from a king only, it's possible that partner, that declarer, when they have both, if declarer has the ace and the queen in both hands, they may also hold the 10 and they may misguess. They play the wrong card and partner's jack forces the ace. When you've led away from both the king jack and declarer holds the ace and the queen, they can never go wrong. It doesn't matter whether they have the 10 or not. So leading away from king jack is a losing option a lot of the time. Against no trumps, it's different. But against a suit contract, which is as we have here, leading away from king jack is a poor idea. So that keeps the clubs and takes clubs and the diamonds out of the picture. So I think I'm going to simply lead the 9 of hearts, top of my doubleton. Now remember everyone, leading a doubleton is different to following suit with the doubleton. So we lead the 9 of hearts. And dummy goes down as follows. Well, this is not such an easy hand. Once declarer knocks out the spades, I think they're probably going to enjoy a bunch of heart tricks as well. So this hand may be difficult for us to be able to defeat. And it might depend also on the signal from partner at trick 1 as to where the jack of hearts is. So if partner has the jack of hearts, they'll probably tell us by encouraging our signal. Well, partner's played the 8. So I think that's a big signal saying they don't have the jack. So declarer has almost certainly got the jack of hearts. So plan our defense here, everyone. Declarer is going to play a trump next, aren't they? If they play a trump next, do we know which minor suit to play? I can't think of which minor suit to play because I don't have any indication from partner. But can I get an indication from partner? I reckon I probably can. So let's follow the play. Avril's asking, does high-low on lead signal a doubleton? Yes, and that is universal, Avril. Universal to lead high-low with doubletons, but it's not universal necessarily to signal high-low with doubletons. That is to partners when partner makes a lead. So as I said, if you're the partner of the leader, if you play low in courage, you should play low-high with a doubleton against a trump contract, because that will encourage partner to give you a rough. So ace of hearts wins here. When declarer next leads a spade, the 9 of spades, partner's 8 is gone, declarer's got 6, dummy's got 3, you've got 3, partner's got 1. So declarer is probably going to take a finesse here because they've got the king jack 10 in their hand. If I win this next trick, if I win this trick now, how do I know what to play? Well, I'm none the wiser here. I reckon that if I let the 9 of spades win, declarer will continue playing spades. And that means that now on partner's first discard, they can give me a signal. So thinking ahead a little bit here, I reckon I should let the 9 of spades win. That's what I'm going to do. And declarer is going to do the obvious thing here, and they're going to continue with another spade. Well, now partner can give me the discard that I so urgently need. And that discard of the low diamond says, partner, I like this suit. I've got an honor over here in diamonds. But they don't have much room for anything more than one honor. So I reckon that honor they have must be the queen of diamonds. Well, this is perfect. I can picture the defense now. Now I can win the queen of spades and switch to a diamond. Declarer ducks. Partner wins the queen and plays the suit back to me. You notice our partner wasn't tempted to play a heart and try to give me a heart ruff? Well, why would they? They know that I've got the ace of trumps left. So why would I want to ruff with the ace of trumps? Now, declarer desperately tries to play the hearts to discard a diamond loser, but now I can trump in on the third heart and cash the winning king of diamonds. That hand worked out very well for the defense for two reasons. One, because I was able to get a signal from my partner, and two, because I had ace queen another trump, then I knew my partner couldn't follow to the second round of trumps. Therefore, why not wait before I won my first winner, get a signal from my partner of the two of diamonds, and now I knew which minor suit to play next. I think that out of the hands that we've done today, I think that's a very important hand to try to understand from signaling perspective. Let's continue on. Two more to go. Okay, this time our north-south pair get to three spades via a Bergen raise. And that three club bid said 6 to 9 points and 4 cards and spades. Well, South wasn't tempted. South wasn't tempted to do anything more than simply sign off in a part score. Partner leads the 9 of diamonds. Well, that's a high card. So that high card equals high hate. But high is consistent with what? A card of that height would only be consistent probably with a singleton or most likely, a doubleton diamond. So if you can read partner's high spot card, that's saying they haven't led mud, it won't be mud, it almost certainly must be a doubleton because it looks like the highest spot card out. And in fact, with the 10 in dummy, there's no other spot card that could be higher. So West leads the 9 of diamonds from a probable doubleton, and East now has to plan the defense. Well, after winning the ace queen of diamonds, you're going to return a third diamond for partner to trump. Which one? The 8 or the 2? Any thoughts? Give me your thoughts, everyone. I'm going to win the queen of diamonds. Yep. Yeah, oh, good. Now this is starting to, I can see everyone saying 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. That's great because it's now making sense to everyone about this suit preference signaling. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your advice, which I of course agree with, and return the 8 of diamonds high, which means lead back the higher of the other two suits, partner. Remember, you're not talking about the trump suit. So, and of course, the diamond suit, partner doesn't have any. So it's either a heart or a club. So you lead the 8, saying, please lead back a heart. Partner trumps in. Partner leads back a heart. See the 10 here? What does the 10 say to you? The 10 says, I don't have any honor here, partner. I'm not interested in your heart suit. So you win the ace. You're not tempted to return a heart at this point in time because partner said, I've got nothing for you here in hearts. So what would you play next? Any thoughts? Give it a little bit of time, everyone. You're in this position now. You could return in fact, any one of the other three suits, a heart, a diamond, or a club. Which one looks the most appealing? A diamond. Susie's saying a diamond. Lena's saying a club. Yep. Jane's saying a diamond. So those who return a club, it's probable that when partner plays the 10 of hearts, that they don't have that many hearts. Declarer's got 5 spades, 3 diamonds, and perhaps 3 or 4 hearts, which means that they might have just 1 club. So I'm not sure that the club return will get you anywhere. A lot of people are now saying a diamond. Great. So those diamond returners, why is that a good idea? It's a good idea because we're hoping that we might be able to promote a trump in our partner's hand. So that's what we do. We continue on with the 2 of diamonds. Declarer trumps with the ace of spades because they're sick of this stuff. And partner throws away a club. Good. Now when declarer plays the king of spades, Partner's queen doesn't drop, and partner's queen becomes the setting trick. So declarer is now kept to 8 tricks. Good hand for defense. We end up taking 2 diamonds, the ace of hearts, and partner gained 2 trump tricks. Very interesting hand, and all because of signaling. We signal our partner on how to defend this hand. We watch the lead, partner watched the card we returned when we gave them a ruff, and then everything became much easier for us in defense. One more hand to go. Okay, here we go. 1 no trump, 3 no trump. So pass, pass, pass. 1 no trump from south, 3 no trump from north, and it's your opening lead on this hand. So what do? I think the king of spades stands out, top of the sequence here, and we lead that. Well, this dummy goes down. Now, on the king of spades, declarer plays low, but partner also plays the 2 of spades. What does that say? Well, that's an encouraging signal. They're saying to partner, please continue this suit. Well, what reason would partner have to continue the suit? The reason I think that partner would have to continue the suit is if they have the jack. So that's what I'm going to do. Once declarer plays low, I'm going to continue with a spade. Declarer ducks that again. Partner wins the jack, consistent with their encouraging 2 of spades. And then partner clears suit. Okay, have a look at dummy, everyone. Dummy's now down to the king, queen, jack, 10 of clubs. So if declarer has the ace of clubs here, then that means that declarer will take 4 club tricks. But imagine the scenario where partner has the ace of clubs and they might want to hold up the ace. They'll need to know how many clubs you have to make them work out whether this is a good idea or not. So the next card for that North plays is the king of clubs. Partner plays low. We don't know whether they have the ace or not. Declarer plays low. But when you've got the 9, 5, and 2 here, it can be very important for partner to know that you've got an odd number of cards. How do you show an odd number? By playing high, low. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to play the 9. We can certainly afford it. They're never going to win any tricks, these 3 cards. But it sends a message to partner, I've got an odd number. Well, watch what happens in the continuing play. Declarer plays a low diamond across to the ace, seeing if the queen drops, and it doesn't. And then they continue with another club to the queen. You complete your echo. An echo means playing high-low. And partner knows when you played high-low that you had an odd number. And on the queen of clubs, that also wins the trick. Well, declarer now desperately plays a diamond, finessing the jack, but losing to your queen. You take the winning queen of spades, and then obviously the ace of clubs must be in partner's hand. So we play a club across to partner's winning ace, and we claim 1 down. Have a look at the club suit, everyone. If we were to rewind the hand and have a look at the layout of the club suit. 4 in dummy, king, queen, jack, 10. Ace to 3 in the east hand. 3 small in the south hand, and 3 small in your hand. So partner holding up the ace until the 3rd round of the suit simply stranded the last club, winning club in dummy. And because the ace of spades was knocked out, there was no longer an entry. And all of this was possible. Why? All of this was possible because you gave partner a count card. Now, if you had held 4 cards, you would have played your lowest card. And if you had played your lowest card, showing an even number, partner would know declarer was either 4 or 2. So partner would then duck only one club and win the second club. Why? Because if declarer has two clubs, that would be the right play. If declarer has four clubs, there's nothing that partner could do. So in both senses, it doesn't matter if you're simply cutting, you could be cutting dummy off from one winner or even two winners in the club suit. So very important hand for if you're considering count. Go back to that hand, look at it again, everyone. It's in the notes.